Hi, Bowflex Barbie here, and welcome back to the Flex Pretty podcast. For today's episode, I have a special guest, someone that is no stranger to me and to you if you are in the fitness space here in Nassau. You may have seen her, you may know about her, but today I have none other than Alicia with me.
Hi, so excited to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you
I'm
for.
honored to be considered, honestly, to sit
Please
on the
stop.
couch with you. So amazing.
Please stop. Alicia, I have been watching you on your fitness journey for years and your powerlifting journey that we're going to get into as well. But for those who aren't as familiar with you, just tell us a little bit about you, who you are, what you do.
Well, my name is Alicia with a Z.
With a Z.
Yes. A little bit about me. I'm 32. This is my second year powerlifting. I am an HR professional. I am also a part-time, sometime maybe a nail tech. Nothing crazy though.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. When I have time, I do that. I'm a mom. I'm a friend, I guess. Just all around. I'm human at this point. Fitness aficionado. Is that the word? Aficionado?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love of
Yeah.
fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Awesome. So talk to me about, I guess, when the love for fitness started and what that initial start in your fitness journey looked like. And then talk me through to how 2 years ago you were like, yeah, powerlifting, that's the lane that I want to be in.
So initially, I always had a love of fitness, but it was like, how do I get started? And the pandemic was my kickstart. And you, funny enough,
And me.
yes, when you were
I do
setting
remember
out your
your.
challenges and everything, I was signing up. And I think once or twice I worked out at Balmoral's gym.
Mhm.
And that was cool because I loved the little small gym area. But during the pandemic, being home, I did your workouts at home. And then I just used to do a lot of cardio to
Okay.
help kickstart and get me moving because I was like, this is not, I need something. I need an outlet. And it was actually pretty perfect, really and truly. That's how I started. And then after, well, along with the cardio, I started working out with Ryan Payne Fitness. Shout out to Ryan. Love you, dude. He was a big catalyst in consistently getting me moving. And that's where I implemented the weights.
Okay.
Because he would we would have the dumbbells, the bumper plates and all that. And literally, that was started from the bottom. What Ryan Payne Fitness is today is a beauty because I saw it go from start to what it
Where
is
it is
now.
now.
And I'm really proud of him. But going and working with him through that, he really instilled a lot of love for training and working out in me, really and truly. Fast forward, I was with him up until about 2 years ago when it
Okay.
was like, you're strong. We did. um, and I think I wanted to pivot just as something else to channel into, to explore. And then that's when I stumbled across JKS Fitness, and that's where I am now. And he is my powerlifting trainer, strength and conditioning, and it's going pretty well, honestly. 2 years in,
Awesome.
I can see the growth,
Yeah.
and I think everybody can see the growth really and truly. Even though I don't share as much as I should, but it's going pretty good.
Yeah, and as you talk about that journey, I can remember like each of those. I didn't realize I was like my program was the start,
Yeah.
but I actually was going through like old challenge photos and stuff, and I was like, "Look at Alicia."
Yes.
And then I remember watching you with Ryan, watching your again. I could see that I feel like from the outside looking in, at least that looked like where it really clicked, and it was like, I'm in this. Like I'm officially a fitness girly. This workout thing is like, this ain't a joke. This ain't a
Yes.
game.
I
And
even I even fell in love with running at one point, and then it was
ooh.
like, yeah, it was like nothing is chasing me. Why am I doing this? That's what really got me to really cut. That got me really, really, really small to the point where I was sort of uncomfortable, but it was good. I mean, I think I ran 13 miles once, and it was like, wow, you did that, you did that. But then I realized I prefer weights.
I I feel you on that. I feel like I had
Yeah.
my spurts of running moments too. Every now and then I'll go and do a little 5K.
I wish I
Nothing,
could run. I wish I could just wake up and then
nothing.
do a 5K or do anything. Just go for a quick run. Nothing, a quick 7-minute mile, nothing crazy, and then just go back to life. But that's not me. I
Yeah,
am a
no.
13, 15, maybe 17-minute mile girl because I'm walking.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Running is not my. It's not my vibe. I'll do it with a purpose and with a. You have to do it for this long, for this
Yes.
amount of time, but it's not my like regular routine.
I'm
for
not
sure.
waking up to say, I'm going to go running today. Nope.
Yeah, but I can remember, again, seeing your journey with Ryan and now the transition. I didn't realize, I thought it's been longer than 2 years you've been powerlifting. It's only been 2?
I started lifting and training towards it in January of 2023. So yeah,
Okay.
this is the start of this year is two
It's
years.
2 years for you.
Mhm.
Awesome. And I know you said you shifted into powerlifting with the desire to like challenge yourself. Like, talk to me a bit more about that. Like, you love the weights, training with Ryan. You fell in love with lifting and, the weights, strength training. What do you think? Like, was it beyond wanting to challenge yourself? Was it like seeing the sport evolve? Like, what really clicked and was like, I want to try this? I know you said you were strong.
Mhm.
But what really
Um,
clicked for you?
I did a Squattober. I think in October of 2022, I did Squattober, and I was always in conversation with Javon Nassau, owner of JKS Fitness, and I was showing the list and everything, and it was progressive. It was really good, and I think that's where I realized, okay, this is something that challenges me, and I really, really, really enjoy it. Now that was mainly just squats, but of course I had the deadlifts and the bench press in there as well. And so I realized that those were aspects I actually wanted to improve.
Okay.
So coming into the end of 2022, I was talking to him. I was like, I want to do something different. I know, I mean, I'm disciplined, but not bodybuilder discipline. Like, you're amazing. Oh my gosh. I watch and I'm in awe. The prep, the everything that it takes. Like, you are on a totally different level of discipline compared to me. Because I like food.
We could argue, but I mean, we could argue that I feel like they both sports require a high level of discipline. It's just
Right.
what you're channeling that discipline and structure to. I think that's the difference. Like, for me, I'm not lifting all that weight. No, thank you.
See, and for me, I'm not that disciplined with food.
You ain't eating
The
my dried
food,
chicken.
I would like something. I would like to enjoy my food.
Fair enough.
So I think that's the difference. Yeah. I think I was actually interested in Olympic weightlifting,
Okay.
and I know he does that as well. But I was like, let's try powerlifting, and then we could
See
go
where it goes.
from there. And so it has been. Sometimes we still send each other videos of 2023 in the beginning when I was struggling to move certain weights, and now it's like, wow, you repping this out, and the growth has been amazing. But I think that's where I started. One Squattober, and now I'm locked in.
That's all it takes. One squat's over.
Honestly.
So tell me, what is your, I guess, focus right now in the sport? Like, are you working towards a specific, like, I'm sure you're working towards specific goals in each lift, but like, what is your focus right now in the sport?
Right now, my main focus, I am actually in prep for USAPL Nationals.
Okay.
I'll be a guest, but also I'm eligible to win anything if I.
When you perform.
Yes.
Okay.
So training towards that, trying to make sure I stay within my weight class. I do have personal goals that I want for each lift this year. And I'm actually pretty close to all of them. I've actually surpassed one.
Okay.
I'm very proud of that. That's on my bench
That's
press.
awesome.
Yes, bench press has slowly became my favorite lift. I don't know when that happened. But so I'll share my goals. Nothing crazy. My squat this year, I'm aiming for 400 pounds.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing out there. Nothing too crazy. I'm at 375 now. So that's 25 pounds. And I feel like by December, that's not a national school. That is
That's
a
like
year goal.
and by the end of the year, that's where
Right.
you want to be.
Because my goal for nationals is just to go 9 for 9. As long as I think I've done 3 meets.
What is 9 for 9? For those that don't know, aka me.
Right. So in powerlifting, you do squat, bench, deadlift, and for each lift, you have 3 attempts.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I kind of was thinking that, but I was just like, just to be sure.
So at the beginning of the meet, you give your opener for each lift. So we speak in kgs. So like for me, that would be 170 kg on squat, maybe like 90 kg on bench, and then maybe like 190 on deadlift,
And then
right?
from your opener, you go up.
And from your opener, you have to
You
go
have
up.
to go up.
Yes, you cannot go less than your opener.
You can't keep.
You can keep the opener, because let's say you don't get it.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you have 3 chances to get whatever number you have 3 chances to get the first number.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you could either stay at that or go up.
Right.
Depending on whether you make that.
Now, if you get it, you have to go up.
Oh. So if you don't get it, you could stay.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can't go less than it.
Okay. And going 9 for 9 means you would have hit all of your attempts.
Every attempt.
In each round.
In all
lifts.
3. Mm-hmm. So it's a big feat. A lot of people do it. It's not impossible, but it calls with being intentional. It calls with knowing where you are and being honest with yourself day of, because it's a lot that goes into just being in the room and preparing for that day. So you don't want to open too heavy, because when you open too heavy, you have nowhere else to go but up. So you have to actually stay or try and manage.
But it's also a matter of like also not opening too low.
Right.
That you're like,
because you don't want to do massive jumps, because
to try to keep up with how the board is going.
Right.
Yeah,
so in your weight class, if it's about 12 people, you're funneling between 12 people.
Yeah.
And then you go again. And so you don't want to open too low to the point where you have to now do another lift to do your next lift, because then you're going to be fatigued and you don't want it to affect you. And then you don't want to do too big of a lift, because it will shock your CNS, central nervous system.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah. It's so mental, even though it's
physical, but it's mental.
It's physical, but it's more mental, because
I'm sure that day of, especially.
That day of is a doozy. And if you don't have if you're not surrounded by the right people, if your coach isn't in tune with you, because you've been training for so long, having your coach there or a handler, someone to help you, walk you through, pick the right weights, you will.
It's overwhelming. It sounds pretty overwhelming.
Because you're in a room full of people you don't know.
Watching you, expecting you to lift this weight.
Well, that's the people in the front watching you. The people in the back, they warming up for their lifts. They're not checking. They doing what they have to do. Bagels on the floor, pre-workout everywhere. You have protein, water. Everybody doing what they have to do to make sure that they are ready for when they step on the platform. So it's a lot. Mm-hmm.
And that's a perfect transition into what I actually wanted to talk about next too, with the mental side of training. I can imagine. I mean, I think there's a lot of similarities between even day of, like you mentioned, the day of a show for powerlifting, the day of the show for bodybuilding is kind of similar to. It's very intense, very crazy backstage. Everyone is like in their own zone, but when you step out on stage, you gotta
show up,
perform, right? I mean, thankfully for me, I ain't gotta lift no weights on the stage, but I know there's a lot of it's a lot of mental. A lot of it is mental, and even down to us, like for stage, if you are too stressed,
I'm sure that shows, right?
That shows on you. Your body starts to hold more water than it should. Like you don't show up on stage, which is the whole point of your 60 and 20 week prep, to show up as your best self. If you're not mentally strong, you're not mentally in a good place, you don't have that support around you, you don't have that ability to like calm yourself and focus and lock in, you could ruin that in those couple of seconds backstage.
I've always wanted to know, in prep, you have to do your posing. Yeah. I love to see bodybuilders pose. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Is it painful? Like when you get on stage, because I know you have to hold the poses for a good amount of time before they tell you turn, or...
It varies from show to show, but the more, and what I've realized, I'm not someone that likes and enjoys practicing my posing, but when I am intentional about practicing it frequently and practicing the long holds, practicing the routine again and again to where it's very like muscle memory, it's less painful.
Okay.
So the more condition, it's a part of conditioning. Essentially, like I would go through with my posing coach for at least 30 minutes a couple times a week. Like we're holding the poses, each pose for a minute, 2 minutes. And reality is you're likely not going to hold it for more than 30 seconds to a minute on stage. But if you have your muscles conditioned to stay in those holds, it's a lot easier than like just trying to go in and without practice and doing it. So, and I've done both. I've been like, I ain't spending all kind of time every week doing this. I can just show up and do my poses. And I've struggled to hold them, which again affects you in showing what you've worked hard for those weeks too. So it is, I mean, it's uncomfortable, but the more you practice it, the less uncomfortable it is.
Pretty similar for us. You're not on that platform for more than a minute. You actually only have a minute to perform your lift.
Yeah, it's very similar to us then.
So once they load that bar, they say bar is loaded, you have to walk out.
Don't be dancing on the stage for too long.
Walk out, set up, especially if you have 30 seconds.
You got a ritual.
You have a ritual. You have to zone in and do all that. Hurry up because you have a minute to perform that lift and you're in and you're out.
Yeah, so you got to be able to like get to it. Right. And so you got to practice even that, like taking the time it takes for you to get your lift on.
A lot of people don't realize it's cues too. You can't just go out there, pick up the weight, squat. You have to listen. There is someone talking to you in all of the mayhem. Just as they'll tell you, turn, forward, back. And it's like that person is saying, squat, rack. Like if you rack before they say rack, you don't get your lift. You could have performed that to the best of your ability.
It's stressful. I getting stressed hearing about this.
And sometimes you can't even hear
because it's so much around you. Yeah.
So at some point you just practice holding. Like okay,
until you see people clap. Or
I try to just listen for the movement.
What is the person that calls out is that the judge or? What do they call them?
The refs. They call them. So there's a head one for each lift. Sometimes it changes, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. But there's one in the front, and then there are two on the side because the two on the side check for depth. They check to make sure movement, because in the movements you can't go down. So let me not say you can't go down. In a squat, you
can't start and then go back.
You can't bounce in any movement.
So they have to check to see the
power path and making sure that there's no shaking. Well, you could shake, but just make sure it don't shake down.
You can't go back down. You can shake on the way up.
keep shaking, but that's what they call for. Okay. So it's
a lot.
It's pretty. It's really intense. Really intense.
Yeah, but like as you talk, like it's crazy. Like a lot of it, I think, is very similar to bodybuilding. Even in the judging, we have head judge. We have multiple judges. The day of show is a lot of more pageantry and the art of posing comes out, but some of the same mental game of, okay, you have to listen to the call outs. Yes. You have to listen to your number being called to switch. You got to listen to these numbers go back to the line. You have to be present in that moment, but also
locked in
because you got to hit each pose. And
it's time to show what you have been training for, like you said.
Yeah. And then for us, we be hungry.
Now, we're different when first thing we have to do is we have to weigh in.
Hit weight, yeah.
Yeah, to make sure we're in our weight class. And then after that,
it's time to fuel up.
It's time to eat.
Yeah, some bodybuilders who go by weight. Women don't go by weight. Only men in certain classes go by weight.
Okay.
So they could relate on that, I'm sure.
So I would like a sandwich. I would like something because I need to load up to get my opener. Right. And then you have to manage how you eat because you don't want to eat too soon and you go out and then you feel bad. It's a lot.
It's a lot to consider. You can't overdo it, but you can't underdo it.
Chipotle is my midday meal though. Love it. Wow.
Yeah.
And I need to be there for deadlifts. The problem is we start so early. I think the meet starts 7.
You ain't eating that early in the morning.
No, I don't have it that early. But
you'll have it.
By the time we get the deadlifts, we're like well into Chipotle probably would have just opened. Like 11, 12 or whatever. So we Uber Eats it in.
Not in the time they open.
I need my Chipotle for deadlifts. I need it. I need it. And I don't need a lot. Just
bowl or burrito?
Bowl.
Okay. Yeah, we could go together then. And I need a side of chips to dip.
I love chips. Yeah, I need the chips. Oh my gosh. Guac on the side, queso on the side.
Queso on the side, yeah.
Because I have to control it.
Yeah, I need portion control. Yeah,
Wow.
we can go to
Locked
Chipotle
in.
together. Yeah.
Locked in.
So talking about food fueling, let's talk about supplements that you're using pre-meet, and if there are any like that you are like are staples in your routine, day of, day before, after. Let's talk about that.
Nothing really changes around the meat.
Okay.
My supplements remain the same throughout. So creatine daily. Sometimes when I'm feeling froggy or if I forgot that I took it, I may take an extra scoop.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. I take D3 daily for immunity. Especially having a corporate job in offices and stuff like that. You're surrounded by people all day, and I mean, I can't tell Susie she can't be sick, but also Susie can't make me sick.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure that I am straight. Other than that, I take omega-3. I do take, I think I'm going to say it wrong, HMB.
Hydroxymethylbutyrate.
Yes, I do take HMB.
I do too. Okay.
Here and there. I'm not consistent on it.
Me either.
But when I remember, I'll be like, ooh, let me take some. Sometimes here and there, I take a fenugreek, just one.
Okay.
I
don't know what that is, but what's that?
Yeah, in my research and just it's supposed to be good for muscles.
Okay.
I haven't done any heavy research on it, but it mainly speaks to men, and so that's why I don't take it as often. I just I have it, so if I take it just because I bought the supplement, it needs to be used
before it go bad. Okay.
Right. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Of course, I take my protein. So I do have I try to have a shake a day. I have not found something solid that I actually like that I can mix with milk. That's my issue.
Okay.
I am still struggling to find that. I was on Core Power for a while, the Fairlife, 40 grams. Wow, have my heart. Now I drink the Premier Protein, which has, the Walmart brand. Yeah. I drink one of those here and there. Other than that, what else do I do supplements-wise? Oh, zinc magnesium. I take that at night. It actually helps with muscle recovery and to help me sleep. Okay. Sleep is a big part of,
sleep for everybody is very important. I know for you as an athlete, super important.
And we talk about the 6 to 7 hours of sleep, and I don't know. 8. Yeah, and see, I gone down to 6. I don't know where I'm supposed to find it in the grand scheme of the day, but I struggle. Sometimes if I get 5 hours of sleep, I do.
That's a success for you? No, baby. I need 6 to 8, for me to have a solid day.
I try. My days are pretty.
So you go to bed late or you get up early?
I get up pretty early, so it's a mix of the two. So right now we work out at 4 a.m. So I'm up at 3:30 to get ready, head out, gym by 4. Do a full workout, and a lot of people don't realize how labor intensive a workout can be. Because be like, oh, I had the gym spun. Why are you taking you 3 hours in the gym? Because I can't just decide to wake up and put 350 pounds on my back. Just walk in and put it on and go. You have to warm up. You have to.
It's a process.
It's such a long, tedious process. So I may leave the gym sometimes 7:30, maybe closer to 8 some mornings, depending on the length of the workout and what we had to do. Then I'm to work 9 to about 6 in the afternoon. And then after that, if I have a client, then I'm working with them. So that's until about 8. And then I have to find food if I did not prep or figure out I have to cook. And then after that, you have to find some time to unwind or figure life out in all of it.
It's a lot going on, yeah.
It can be a lot. So I try to be in bed by 9:30, 10 the latest.
But that don't always happen.
That doesn't always.
So that's what zinc, magnesium. Zinc, magnesium, what else?
I think it's aspirin, but I think it's just a mix of the two.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
sometimes. So it helps you make the most of whatever sleep you do get.
Yeah. Yeah. My best sleep night is a Saturday.
Why is that?
Because I don't go anywhere on Sunday mornings.
I put you on unless I have to.
Unless I absolutely have to, something is planned. I sleep in and I let my body wake up naturally on a Sunday morning.
For me, that's still relatively early because I get up early. I get up 4:45 through the week. So I find even if I don't have anything on Saturday or Sunday, my body's up around that
a bathroom
time.
break.
Yeah.
I always have to get up at some point to just take a walk, but I could go right back to sleep. That's the thing.
Yeah, not me. Once I'm up, I'm like, what am I doing?
So maybe 7, so like 7, 8-ish. Now, if I go back to sleep, I'm good till about 9, 10.
Oh, no.
So
my brain already percolating at that point. So it's like, get up. But okay. So that's your stack. You got vitamin D, creatine. This one was...
that's a D3.
A D3. Magnesium. HMB. Yeah, I take HMB too. They kind of like work together.
Right.
Creatine and HMB work well together. My coach actually put me onto HMB a couple years ago. And I feel like it's made a big difference in muscle development and just maintaining as well when I cut especially.
I think it does. And I think I probably have to add it back. There are two. There's one I take that's a pill, like an acid-free one. I can't remember I think it's Muscle Tech.
Okay.
They have a HMB acid-free pill. Then I actually have a powder.
Okay.
The powder.
I haven't seen it in the powder.
Yeah, I got it off Amazon. It doesn't taste the best, honestly, because I dry scoop creatine just to make my life easier. Oh, another staple in my life. Pre-workout. I need it. Caffeine. We go together real bad.
What's your go-to pre-workout?
Ghost.
Okay.
Love Ghost. The powders. Grape, raspberry. I think the only one I really can't take is the apple. It's a bit too sour. But
I feel like I've tried that and I had a sample of it. And
it was
a little.
like, yeah.
Is that like the warhead face?
Yeah. So
it actually had that on it, I think. So it may not have been apple, but
I think it is a warhead sour apple.
Okay, so maybe I was like,
it's a bit too much. But Ghost is
your pre-workout of
the
choice.
Pre-workout, and we mix it with Pedialyte. Electrolytes.
Y'all be making all kind of concoctions.
Hey, don't knock it.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm a Pedialyte after a night of drinking type of gal, so I feel like I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, so along with having to try and drink a gallon of water a day, I'm still trying my best.
Same.
I'm trying my absolute best. Sitting in the office where it's cold and having to drink water, it is the
And then when you drink that much water, you gotta get up a lot and use the bathroom. And then if you got things to do, that's like, okay, yeah.
I don't want to get up. I want to finish this. But I think that's the hardest thing, like having to drink it in an environment where I'm not sweating.
And you're not home.
Right. So I think that's the only thing. But the Pedialyte helps with definitely the hydration and making sure, if anything, if I don't drink enough water, I'm not down too bad because I would instantly get a migraine.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts, a lot of
honestly.
Things. Yeah, but that's awesome. I think a lot of those things similar. Pre-workout for me, creatine, magnesium I've taken here and there too, not consistently. I find I'd be so tired, I'd be knocked out. Like, I sleep.
Sometimes I don't need it. I will lay in that bed and I'm out.
Yeah. I sleep pretty well consistently. But before we close out, I have a question that I think I want to ask for women that are, I don't want to categorize women in this space, but there are a lot of women that look at the sport of powerlifting, look at the sport of bodybuilding as that is not a feminine sport. It's not a woman's sport. And a lot of people think that fitness in general requires sacrifice, but especially bodybuilding, powerlifting, these sports that are deemed as very masculine. A lot of women think that entering into these spaces is going to require them to sacrifice femininity. And I think you look at you, a beautiful, strong woman that hasn't. I mean, she's sitting up there in a skirt, her muscles popping, her lashes are
always done.
Period. I mean, clearly, we are proof. We are both proof that you don't have to sacrifice femininity for muscularity, for strength. But what would you say to women that they entered that realm of realizing that? What would you say to them?
Honestly, I have gotten more confidence and I felt sexier with muscles.
Period.
That Coke bottle shape that everybody be hunting after or the vixen shape, you actually get it when you have muscles. I mean, some people are born with it, God's favorites. I love that for them. But as for me, I was not.
Gotta build these curves.
So I had to brick by brick. And that's why when you focus on the back and you focus on the legs, you build the back muscles to give you that smaller waist. And
it's all an illusion.
It's really all just because now when I go there and I pose in that picture, you see the muscles, you see the boom, bam, pow, and my waist is, where is it? You know?
You gotta put out call the police.
Honestly, can't find it. But honestly, it's just getting up and being consistent and doing it. And a lot of times people don't like to challenge themselves. There's one of I have she's an IG. Her name is Ava.
You know Ava.
Yeah, based in Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
Body banging, just muscle.
Yeah.
And I love to listen to her when she getting everybody together. Like, you can't expect to have a dream body if you ain't putting in the work. Yeah. Pick up the heavy weights. It can stress you out, but it may move hard this week, but next week, what weight? Like, so I think that's the only thing is like, you can't be afraid to grow. But I think that's the biggest thing. We are so afraid to challenge ourselves and because what if, and I don't want to look manly, but muscles aren't manly. Yeah. And not to me, at least. And unfortunately, to any man who thinks that muscles are manly, you're not the man for me. I'm so sorry. You're too small, and I'm probably stronger than you.
Yeah, 90%, 90. I would say even say 99% of the men that would say that muscle on women is manly do not have close to the amount of muscle. You don't even have muscle as me. So you are not my type either. So keep it moving. Let's go.
You waking up in the morning, ask me where I go to the gym. You come in, like, what's happening? Like, you just laying down? Come on, let's be for real. So honestly, don't be afraid of muscle. It is one of the healthiest things that you can have. When I read certain things where it says muscles, just having muscles gives your life expectancy so much more because your body has something to carry you. Yeah,
if you make it to an older age, right, which you hopefully want to, you have to have muscle to be able to be independent. So even if you look beyond the aesthetic of what muscle does for us, as far as confidence and physique, like muscle is actually essential to functionality. It's a building especially block as we get older.
Yeah, without it, we actually can't. Because, like, for example, personally, I watched my grandmother on the decline with dementia and everything, and seeing her go from one body weight to now being very frail, and you could see that she has no muscle definition. Yeah. And because of things that she wants to eat that's easier for her, it's hard for her to build it at that age. Yeah. But so it's like, imagine if you took care of it and fostered it. It's like, when you get to that age, of course, it's going to be difficult, but you would still have, your body will still have something to basically live off of and sustain it.
And you got to start that now because especially as when we lose it. After 30, we lose muscle every year, unless we're doing something to counter.
And it's so much harder, especially with all, like, just life for women. You have the pregnancy.
The responsibilities.
The stress and all the other factors that go into, that actually affect your body. Yeah. And makes it harder to build muscle.
Perimenopause for some women, menopause. And
PCOS. It's the smallest things. And I tell men all the time, it's like, get on my face, you're so lucky. You could go running for 2 weeks.
You don't have these changes.
Honestly, you go running for 2 weeks and now you have a dream body. And please leave me alone. Because I am bloated and I would like to go to sleep.
We go through it. We are ourselves for 1 week out of the month, maybe.
Honestly, if we're lucky. 7 out of 28.
If we're lucky. Yeah, if we're lucky.
Because really and truly it could be 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, it's just being intentional, being consistent, doing what you can, because of course
being real with yourself, with what you were able to actually do.
Like, and surrounding yourself with the right people. Honestly, because
that's a big part.
You could want something and the people around you will have a totally different mindset, and that's when things start to go left, because you worry about going, your friends will go out, cool, you won't go out, but you have the gym the next morning. They ain't going to the gym, they sleeping in. Now you in bed, bust up, and can't get to the gym. That makes no sense. So it's just be the smallest things that make the biggest difference. So Honestly, it's just starting, surrounding yourself with the right people, not being afraid. Because people will always have something to say, but at least give them something good to talk about. Honestly,
Or not. Just focus on you.
that
Like
I mean,
what they talk about ain't got nothing to do with you. Stand
honestly,
your business. So
honestly, stay course
yeah.
and do what you have to do, build your muscles. Because people just ask me all the time, or they just look at my arms and they just be like, "What happened?"
What you mean? What happened?
No, I just ask them like,
Oh, I thought you mean they ask you what happened.
no. Some people just be like, "Oh, you just work out here." I just be like, "Yeah." Mm-hmm.
Just say no. I just woke up like this. That's what I tell people when they be like, "Oh," I'm like, "Sir, ma'am, I'm in workout clothes. What are you talking about?" But I realize it's a conversation starter for a lot of people too.
It is
So I
because
try not
as
to
many
be
people who
try not to be
they say,
rude.
"Oh, you was bodybuilding." No,
Just say we're all bodybuilders. We're all building a body.
they see a little bit of muscles. Use a
Mine
bodybuilder.
is just trending in the right direction. That's what you should
Mm.
say. We're all building some body.
Child, people don't think I'm aggressive. I can't say all. I can't. I can't. I try to be so nice. I don't know my face. My face is scare people away.
Oh
I don't
God.
know. So, and it's just a straight face. I try not
You
to.
have a serious. You have an I
I have
means
a
business face. You
very
do.
serious.
If I didn't know you, I'd have been like, yeah, I don't know if I
And I
can
get
talk
that.
to.
I get that a lot.
But that's a good
And
thing.
I think it keeps the people that are
In
not meant
check.
for me
Yeah.
away because you ain't coming to play me.
Don't
You
slap. Don't come play in my face.
don't. Yeah, I think it shows that maybe I can't play her. And then worse, my muscles, and they say I walk aggressive. And
Beat them up.
honestly, I think that's what people they should be like. Oh, I always mad. I'm not mad. I just have a very straight face. I can't avoid it.
It's okay. It's okay. Like you said, it keeps the right people
Right.
where they should be, and the wrong people where they should be. Yeah. All right, Alicia. Thank you so much. I enjoyed this conversation with you today.
This is great.
I learned some things about you. A lot of things I feel like I already knew, but I did learn some new things, and I appreciate you sharing your experiences in fitness and powerlifting, and just as a strong woman that wears many hats: mom, part-time nail tech, powerlifter, corporate girly, all these hats you wear so beautifully, and you still prioritize your fitness, you still prioritize your powerlifting journey, and I wish you all the best in your upcoming meet.
Thank you.
This is probably going to air a little bit after, possibly, maybe before, but if it's after, then
Hopefully I went 9 for 9.
we need, yes, that 9 for 9 report. We'll put it in the description if this comes out after. If it's before, we'll wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
And for those who want to follow along with your journey, can you look into your camera and tell us where we can connect with you?
All right. So my Instagram is Alicia, A-L-I, C for cat, C for zebra, I-A-A-S. That's my handle. I really want to do better with posting.
Disclaimer.
I get overwhelmed so much, but I'm doing my best.
We give you some grace. You got a lot going on.
Yeah,
But don't leave us waiting too long between posts. So
I can post today. Maybe tomorrow.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you, Alicia.
Thank you too. This was amazing. I'm honored to have been considered and to have this
Please
conversation.
stop
It was
that.
great.
Thank you again for being here. It was great chatting. If you enjoyed this conversation, sitting in on our conversation, make sure you let us know in the comments. I will put the link to Alicia's Instagram in the description as well. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Check out other episodes of the Flex Pretty podcast, where I speak with inspiring guests just like Alicia, who are on their fitness journey in the health and wellness space and of different walks of life as well. So thank you again. We did it. And thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.